Hey, welcome back. um, y'all, let's take a little break from all this homeschool curriculum. And even though I do have a video coming for you about all our changes and add-ins and all of those things, that will be coming next week, I just wanted to do a video on the things that have helped me to really get into the groove of homeschooling, starting off your homeschool year. Sometimes this can be really tough when you have a lot of different ages going on. You got babies and middles and bigs and all those things, right? So deciding to do this video, even though school has already started, but I feel like this deserves a place to sit on my channel for anyone who's starting, already there, veteran moms. Like, sometimes the beginning of the homeschool year could be so stressful. And so today I just want to drop some tips to help you start off your homeschool year great. So I know first things first that when the homeschool year starts, we like to just get all the things and it be all together and it be wonderful. But sometimes that just does not work out for us homeschool moms. Sometimes we don't have it all together by the time the homeschool year starts. So hey, let's not think that way. You know what I'm saying? If we can't have it that way, or if it doesn't work out, yes, we can do like a yearly outline of what we want. But even sometimes with that, things don't start out great. So, number one tip to starting out your homeschool great is just let it flow. And what I mean by that is really just letting your days flow. If you have kids of different ages, some of them might like to sleep in, some of them might get up early. Working with this rhythm, even through activities. What activities do you have for the week? Let them really sink in. What is this day going to look like? How much outside of this activity, how much work can we do? Are we going to do work at all? These are questions that we need to ask when we are really trying to just get into the groove. Sorry, my kids are being loud. Just get into the groove of your day and getting back to it. And so even now at the end of October with this, being almost 2 months into school, we are now feeling our groove. And that's okay. Like, it's not that simple. I love you homeschool year-rounders because they stay in their rhythm and they just take their vacations when they feel like it, right? That's also a good thing. But for me, I need that mental break because I am the type of person when I lock in and I am in and doing something, I'm in. So I put a lot of energy and a lot of time and reading and all of it. I just put a lot in because as you know, like we are learning along with our kids. So when I'm in, I'm in. And honestly, the summer just gives me really that mental decompressing that I need because the year can be a lot for me. Now, if it's your first time around here, my name's Frances and I'm a stay-at-home mom. I have 4 boys ranging from the ages of 11 to 24. We are in our 5th year of homeschooling, and around here, I just share tips and our journey on homeschooling, reviews, and all the good things to help us mom stay sane in this journey. And not forget about ourselves, of course, because if we don't take care of ourselves right, we can't take care of anybody else. So, back to starting off the homeschool year great. Tip number 2, and I know a lot of you know or already do this, is really starting the year off slow. And slow doesn't necessarily mean, oh, we're just doing one subject. No, it doesn't really mean that. It depends on what you know your kids can handle. So for us, I more so in starting off slow said, oh, we're doing all the chores right off the bat. Let's get into the groove of that. I can say at the end of October, they are finally in a good groove of making sure their core, subjects of literature, math, writing, science, and history are getting done weekly. Other stuff I try to rotate in and out, so we're not doing everything weekly. Um, and as you know, our loop schedule is like on and off. It's something that I do, but it's something that I don't let the pressures of it when I don't get it done drive me crazy. I don't do that. So the third thing, number 3, for starting your homeschool year off great is making a schedule. This is something that I have been doing for all the years homeschooling, but I feel like this year I took a different approach. I think getting in the groove of what you're doing first, what your days are going to look like, starting out slow, taking your time to know what can be here, what can be there, what's not going to fit. All of those things are so important before you sit down to say, oh, on this day, you need to do this, this, and that. For me, I was going in the opposite direction. Oh, here's your schedule. And then trying to walk through the course of our days, and they were not working. So, make the schedule after you are in your flow. Don't rush through this. Please don't rush through this because it's going to cause you a lot of stress. And I've been doing weekly updates over on Instagram just to kind of see how the year started off and what it's like now. And we are really in a good groove right now. Also, mamas, it's about to be November. And you know November start looking crazy and your schedule will be like bing, 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 bing. We did a lot of work in September and October because I knew like once that halfway third week in November hits, things start going crazy and homeschool days be like, we're not schooling today. So, and yeah, so I definitely know the rhythms of our home as far as like holidays and what they look like and how much work we get done. That is also something good to consider when you're considering your schedule. So for me, these first August, September, October months are very important, getting off to a good start and really getting into a rhythm because once the holidays hit, sometimes you don't get to all of your work. And that's okay. We know. Seasons change, holiday time. It's okay. We don't get everything done. Also, with your schedule, find out what works best for your child. Do they like block schedules? Do they want it timed? Do they just want something that they can check off? Right now, currently, my kids have an agenda that they check off, and I will be showing that to you in my update video. So don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss that. The last thing I would say about schedules is once you make them, do the same thing with letting it flow, let it work. Use it, critique it, fix it until it is really working for your kids. I know some people use planners. My kids are not there yet. So for me, having this sheet of paper, agenda paper weekly works for them. And they check it off and it's working for us. Would I love my older kids that use a planner better? I would love that. Are we there right now? No. And that's okay. So that's what I would say about making and having a schedule. Number 4 of how to start off the school year great is definitely expectations. This is something else I feel like takes time. And I feel like sometimes we can be so rushed because we feel like we're trying to hit a finish line. But even for me this year and the extra stuff that I want to do with my kids, it might go into next year, and that is okay. So, with your expectations for every subject, sometimes You need to talk them through it. Like, this is what the lesson looks like. Yes, this subject has more reading than this one. This one has less reading. This is what you have to cover every week. As if for science, they have 2 videos to watch, they have a research question, they have a quiz, and they have a lab to do and a lab report. This is the requirement. So every week, they know how to do. Now, even take it a little bit further. They have a lab report. Do they know how to really fill out a lab report? You might need to walk through them with this to get them to a point where it's like, okay, I'm doing this easily. I don't need any more work from you. And that, mama, creates independence. So you, as a mama, especially of high schoolers, you can step back and just say, this is your work for the day, for the week. And they're in a groove and they're working. They're sitting down, they're focusing, they're getting their work done. And yeah, it becomes beautiful once you start to see it work, for them to get in their groove and all of those things. So expectations are big, because even with your little ones, the expectations sometimes for little ones can be, before lunch, honey, we need to finish this subject, and this subject. Okay? Or before your first break, we need to finish math and we need to finish your language arts. These are things, just giving them examples. With boys, don't give them too much information at one time, because guess what? Some of it ain't gonna get done. All right. So, life with boys, y'all. Life with boys. I'm still learning their grooves, and learning as the teenagers get older, they might tend to do their work in the evening. So I'm still grooving in it and getting it all together. Number 5, and I talked about this already with making your schedule, is just having a check off list. Excuse me. As a homeschool mom, I like to reverse plan. So my big, beautiful planner that I have from School Nest, I want to make it look nice. And I have all the markers. And I'm not really a sticker person, but I just like to add a little bit here and there, even adding pictures from our field trips or adventures. Like, I really want to keep that as a place where I can look back. So I like to reverse plan. So their agendas, work checklist, agenda, whatever you want to call it, they are written up and they are changed and they are fixed, and it's like, oh, don't do this, do that. All of that is done on that paper. So then at the end of the week, if I have to make any adjustments, I do, and then I just print it again. Oh, and well, I already have a lot of them printed, but I print again their agenda, and then I just fill it out for the next week. And then I take the old ones and I stick them in my School Nest planner. So when I get time to sit down, I can put everything they have done in my planner, and it's nice and neat, and I'm not driving myself nuts. Feel like I have a little OCD. Yeah, not going to talk about that. What these checklists also do, and also help you as a homeschool mom, is not feeling like, oh my gosh, I didn't get that done. We tend to like write everything in the planner the week of, and it's like, oh, Friday comes and we didn't get it done, and now we're feeling like, oh, our week was terrible because we didn't get all this done. Yeah, I stopped doing that, because in a way it does, and it becomes overwhelming to you, and then it's like, oh, we're starting the next week, and now my planner, this is all in here, but it's all wrong. So now I'm just, it causes a lot of stress and confusion, at least for me. I don't know about you and how you plan. Maybe drop that in the comments and let me know. But for me, the reverse planning really works, and having a separate space where I can scratch off, oh, we didn't get done to that this week, and it doesn't make me feel overwhelmed that, oh my gosh, we didn't get to this week. So, yeah, not walking this homeschool journey trying to feel stressed. Not doing it. Or number 6 would be to read through your teacher's manuals. And I have to say, it's the end of October, and there's still about 2 subjects that I skimmed, but I really need to go back and really look through the teacher's books, because this causes a lot of stress and we don't realize it. When you don't know exactly what your child is doing in a subject, it will drive you crazy. And so certain assignments may come up and you're like, what is that? What is that about? Or projects in science. If you're not prepared, you didn't look at your lab report list, you're trying to run to the store. Like, I know for science, the first how many weeks is usually the weeks where it's like, go, especially in biology, go get this plant or go find. I'm like, no. Okay. So even in sciences, you only really need 15 labs. So we pick and choose as we go. But it's little things like that when you do not really read into your teacher's manuals that it will just slow down your day. It will mess up everything, even when you're teaching around the table and you're not prepared as to what you're teaching everybody, and you're sitting there like, preparation. Read your teacher's manuals. This is what they are for. To assist you in teaching. All right, guys. The last one, which is a number 7, is adding on the fluff. I would say, yeah, don't start adding on until you are in a good groove. We started at the end of August, and I didn't start our loop until like the end of October. October. I didn't start the loop until the end of September. So, and then if you saw my loop schedule video, which I will pop it at the end of this video, we are starting this year to loop from October to May, so that in June we stop all of them and we start finishing out our things in June, so that we have a drop dead date to finish, and I'm not still trying to do all of this and that and this and that. It will more be core focused at the end of the school year without all of the crazy. So even when you add in the fluff, know when you're going to add it in. You don't have to add it all year. As you know, even some, like people do a lot of holiday stuff. Pick the days that you're going to do it. Don't try to schedule a 30-day December. Fun. I know this year we can't do that because my sons are in a church play and it's going to be busy once December hits with all the rehearsals. So I already know for me, we're only planning like 2 weeks, if not less, of stuff that we're going to do. I really didn't think about that before thinking about doing this play or even letting them audition. I wish I would have, because I feel like it takes away from so much family fun time that we have in December. But we will see when we get there. And remember, 7 things to starting your year off great is letting it flow, starting very slow, making a schedule, setting your expectations with your kids, really having a checklist that is going to work for you, reading through all those teachers' manuals. Don't forget to do that. And adding in the fluff, knowing when to put it and take it off, and making that work for you and your homeschool. Guys, thank you for watching this video. And as always, like, subscribe, and I will see you in my next video. Bye. I have 4 boys raging